Now to a new NBC News exclusive report about the counterintelligence briefing that then-candidate Donald Trump received about Russia's involvement in the 2016 campaign. Joining me now is NBC national security contributor Frank Puglisi, a former FBI assistant director of counterintelligence, and NBC's intelligence and national security reporter Ken Dilanian, two of the reporters who broke this story, NBC's national political reporter Carol Lee as well. Everybody's been working on this. Let me go first to you, Ken Dilanian. Lay it out for us. When was Donald Trump first warned by the intelligence agencies that the Russians were meddling in the campaign?
Sure, Andrea. Our sources are not telling us exactly when this briefing was, but we know Donald Trump's first classified intelligence briefing was August the 17th, after he had become the Republican nominee. And what we're told is that both campaigns, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, got general counterintelligence briefings at the time, warning them that foreign adversaries, including Russia, would try to spy on and infiltrate their campaigns. And we're told that Trump was specifically asked to alert the FBI if there were any suspicious overtures to his campaign from Russians or other foreigners. And there's no evidence that he ever did that. And as you know, Andrea, there was a long history, the record now shows, of contacts between members of the Trump campaign and Russians and Russian agents in the months before we're told this briefing took place. And then afterward, there was an exchange, for example, between Donald Trump Jr. and WikiLeaks, which was acting as an agent for Russia, in September. And then Jeff Sessions, who was on the Trump campaign, met with the Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak after that. So Senator Grassley, who originally asked the FBI whether they conducted this briefing in September, said if it happened, it would raise questions about the Trump administration's response to all this. Now those are the questions I think that are going to be asked, Andrea.
Indeed. And in fact, this was, if it was in August or after he became the nominee, then it was 2 months after that June 2016 meeting at Trump Tower. Frank Puglisi, what does this tell counterintelligence officials or FBI officials? What concerns would they have?
Yeah, I've actually had the opportunity to provide a briefing to a presidential candidate back when I was assistant director, and it's an opportunity not only to put the candidate on notice of what to look for, who to look out for, but for that candidate to share with you what he or she knows about what's happening and any suspicions they have, and then to begin a dialogue that moves forward where the candidate continues to tell you, hey, I think something suspicious has happened. I have had contact, or my staff has had contact with foreign nationals. And in my experience in the past with other candidates, you see that contact end if it's happening when you provide that admonishment or that briefing. So it goes toward the mindset of the candidate that they're not sharing with you anything that's already happened or that is happening in the future moving forward.
And Carol Lee, this comes at a time right now, this NBC News report comes at a time when we are hearing increasing concerns. You've heard from Congressman Speer and from others, concerns that there are efforts now to undermine not only Mueller's credibility, but that during the Christmas break there may actually be a firing of Robert Mueller, something that the president is now denying will take place.
Right. We've seen a number of, the drumbeat kind of intensify in the last days and week or so about this. And it seems like they're trying to have it a little bit of both ways, where, on one hand, you see the White House saying, no, we're not going to, the president, has no interest in firing Robert Mueller. And yet then there's this kind of other effort to discredit this investigation and really discredit Robert Mueller. And, that is not new in the sense that the president's attacks on this investigation has always been that this is politically motivated and a witch hunt. But now what we're seeing is this effort, kind of an outside-in effort to undermine Robert Mueller and say that his investigation is politicized and really kind of chip away at that. And that's happening at the same time as we've seen this investigation intensify.